This video is part 2 of the third and last of 3 training modules designed to prepare you for the role of Going Home facilitator. Going Home is a family psychoeducation program designed to support family reunification after incarceration. After completing this learning module, you will be able to describe the critical elements of effective communication and problem-solving skills. You will also understand how to help the program participants build and strengthen those skills in role-play activities. First, we will describe the components of effective communication and problem solving. What is effective communication? We communicate effectively when we are able to convey a message clearly, when we listen in a way that helps us understand the full meaning of what others are saying, and when we are able to make the other person feel heard and understood. How can we do this? What are effective strategies? Active listening is one of the strategies that can be used to make the other person feel heard. You engage in active listening when you are present and alert, when you are looking at the person who is speaking, when you use nonverbal behaviors like nodding to indicate that you are listening, when you ask questions to show interest or to clarify, and when you summarize what you think you heard the other person say. For example, you may say, "I hear that this is important to you. Can you tell me more about it? It sounds like you have been working hard to reconnect with your aunt and uncle who raised you, and you are worried about them." Effective communication often depends on you being clear, using plain English, and being brief. Messages often get lost in long-winded speeches. In communication, less is often more successful. When expressing negative feelings, it is important to avoid defensiveness by focusing on the other person's behaviors. What are the behaviors that upsets you and you would like the other person to change? First, look at the person, say exactly what they did that upset you, and suggest what they might do differently. You want to make positive requests for change. That is, a request that involves making suggestions rather than prohibition. For example, you may say, "I get really angry when you hang out with your buddies after work and come home late at night. I would like you to text me and let me know that is going on. This would help me know that you're all right." Effective problem solving consists of 5 steps. Step 1. State the problem. Begin with something positive, show appreciation, and be specific. For example, "I often look forward to coming home and telling you about my day at work. I'm stressed and it helps me relax. This past week you were out with your friends every night and you did not ask me about how my day was. This hurts me. What can we do about it?" Step 2. Brainstorm solutions. What are the desired behaviors? The incarcerated individual and their family member make a list of solutions, what they can do differently. Solutions are behaviors the family member and the residents think that each of them can do to make things better between them. The program facilitator encourages them to use their imagination and write down whatever comes through their mind. Step 3. Evaluate each solution. Look at the list of solutions and eliminate those that are not workable. Then use the best solutions to develop and agree on a plan of action. For example, "We agree to spend time together on Wednesdays and Saturdays. You will be home when I come back. We will cook dinner, eat and watch TV or go for a walk. You will see your friends on Tuesdays and Fridays. You will let me know where you are in case something happens. You will take care of the kids on Thursday night and Sunday morning so I can visit my mother and my sister. Step 5. Evaluate outcomes. Have the resident and family member hold up their end of the bargain. Did the plan work? If not, the resident and the family member discuss what made it difficult to follow through and consider what they could change and do differently. Now let's discuss how to help the program participants build effective communication skills. Remember, beginning in session 2, the Going Home program introduces skills for effective communication and problem solving that the participants will use to discuss, develop, and agree on a family reentry plan in the final session. The skills are described in the participant handbook in separate topic sections. The Going Home facilitator explains the skills and shows how to use them. For example, the facilitator may invite one of the participants to do a role play with him or her. Then the facilitator will help the participants to use the skills with their family member. The participant handbook contains scenarios the participants can use to practice the skills. The role of the facilitator is to coach the participants as they practice the skills, to provide corrective feedback as well as encouragement. For example, they may say, "Excellent job, the two of you identified a list of options and then evaluated each of them before you made a decision. You got a little frustrated as you practiced the skills. What do you think you could have done to better manage your frustration?" Remember, the Going Home program emphasizes participants' engagement for various activities: reading, journaling, conversations, and role-playing. It is also important that the Going Home facilitator shows enthusiasm and interest. For example, they may say, "Thank you for sharing. This is very interesting, and it relates to what we just read about family organization after reentry." The facilitator should avoid lecturing. Instead, they should foster conversations about the topics and offer the participants opportunities to discuss the material with one another and with the facilitator. Being genuine goes a long way. Say what you truly think. The participants will appreciate hearing about your perspective on their work together. Remember, the facilitator's role is to promote the participants' learning and skill building. Lastly, if it is important to speak clearly, to check in with the participants, and to be responsive to their ideas. It is not unusual for family members to get angry, frustrated, annoyed while working together on tasks that are difficult. Remember that it is critical that the Going Home facilitator observe interactions between family members during the program activities, note signs of negativity and conflict, and intervene to prevent escalation and arguments. The facilitator should interrupt negativity. For example, they may say, "I see that the two of you are getting frustrated. You're having a hard time getting your message across to each other and feel like you're not understood. Let me help you here." At times, it may be necessary to use techniques to help the participants regulate their emotional responses. It may also be necessary to simply change the topic of the conversation and focus on what is happening between the participant and the family member. How about the two of you take a deep breath and stop talking for 10 seconds? I see that both of you are working really hard on this issue and have very different opinions. I appreciate your strength of mind. I also understand it makes it more difficult to work together at times. The Going Home facilitator is active in their efforts to manage the participants' interaction to prevent conflict escalation. Congratulations! You have now completed the online training for Going Home facilitators. You are now ready to begin working with the program participants, incarcerated individuals and their relatives. Please post questions you may have about the training and the address provided on the slide.